So on to the weekly update this week. We'll take a look at Bitcoin, all of the majors, and have a look at the key levels in the market that we want to be looking out for, marking out for next week. And we'll have a look, discuss some of the key trends that we can expect moving into next week as well. So we spoke about last week about this key area of 40k. We're expecting it to hold and expecting a price reaction at those levels. This is our low volume area where we tend to see price spike either bouncing from it or we basically slice straight through it. So we got a nice bounce. We've got a nice 10%, 12% bounce to the upside. Which is definitely something to go by. So now what, right? So I'm still expecting more room to the upside until we break this. If we break 39.6, then I think this opens the door for lower prices into the lower 30s, which I would be expecting if we get some sort of big close down here. Okay. But so long as this hold, I'm still expecting a continuation to the upside moving into next week. Now, we spoke about this 236 fib over here, which is the 46k level. So that would be my absolute earliest point at which I think we can definitely reach. So that is a fairly likely place for us to get to, in my opinion. So that's targeting down here, which would be the previous range lows that we broke down from. So that would be my expectation moving into next week. If we could make 46, maybe even break out this trend line, start to create, some area of bullish momentum is kind of what I'd be looking at. And where we broke down from, where we stalled at rather last week was somewhere around this level, which is the 44k, where we could see that before, when we came up from this level, this 39.6 level before, we came into this level over here, and twice, okay, we retested it down here, a little bit lower, but twice we came up here and tagged this level and then move back down. And it's also actually the breakdown from the previous structure that we broke out from, coincidentally. So no surprise that we basically got a little bit of a pause in price at that level, but we've got the bounce, and now we just want to see a little bit of follow through. Now, I am expecting, a green week next week to finish, but I wouldn't be surprised if we tag some of these lows down here again. Usually we do tag lows and retest them. So, I think it would be better if we actually start the week off red and then finish it off green in the same way that we did that last week. That would actually be pretty bullish for me. So that's one thing that I'm looking out for. So maybe put some cheeky bids down here in that 0.618 fib level, somewhere down here. I would be a buyer. And we'll go through some of the patterns on some of the other altcoins, but I'm a buyer down here. And obviously if we lose this level, then I'd be out. But yeah, I'm going to be patient. If this just moonshots and goes straight up to 46 on Monday, or moves up, really quickly, then I'll just be patient and wait for the next entry. I'm holding spot. I'm chilling. No problem for me. So, like I said, early push down in the week would be pretty bullish for me, in my opinion. Come down here, and maybe we can start to then, create a base and move higher. And on the shorter term time frame, what we're actually doing as well is we've basically got this trend line in play over here for the moment, so we would want to break that. So like I said, maybe we tag down here and then we move up and start to tag these levels. That would be pretty good. And you can see that if we have a look at some of the other altcoins like Ethereum, maybe that would coincide with maybe a retest of somewhere toward this bottom of the range, and then we move higher. But like I said, if we move up higher here, then that's fine. I'll just be patient with any entries or exits and trades. But this is the next level to tag for Ethereum. Will be 3,600, 3,700 area. And Cardano next level would be somewhere around here, which is the $1.50 mark. But like I said, maybe we do get that early push down in the week for Cardano. Maybe look for a retest of this trend line that we broke down from, and maybe a retest up here for Cardano to get any sort of bullish momentum going. You'd want to reclaim this area, make a push higher up to about that 170 area, and then maybe use this and retest this as support. Would be really bullish for Cardano, but expect resistance at 150. And that a lot of these rallies are just dead cat bounces, or should I say relief rallies for now, until proven otherwise. Polkadot just looking to uptrend, and maybe we tag somewhere down these region, this low over here, and maybe, you know, the upward target for the next week would be somewhere around that $31 mark. So like I said, next week, I know a lot of the top cryptos expect maybe a, you know, 10-20% bounce on some of these coins if you can get good entries on them, and just look for that next major of overhead resistance for the time being. Okay, you know, Luna, we spoke about Luna, and we said don't buy it up here at 100, and, you know, it would be a much better buy towards $75, which is that, you know, that level over here, which we got an initial bounce from, fell straight through. Like we said, low volume, we either capitulate straight through or hold it as strong support. But you know, we also said 75 and $60-65 area would be the first area of interest, so we got that. So yeah, let's see basically where we continue on some of these cryptos. Maybe Luna does something like this, retest this green region down at the $76 region, which would be maybe a good buy entry for the coming week. So like I said, just mark out these levels. But on the macro scale as well, or should I say, looking at more looking at the Dixie, interestingly last week we also got a push down in the dollar index, which coincided with Bitcoin seeing some relief. So if you know, so long as the Dixie, which I don't expect it to, just moonshot straight back into this pattern that we had over here, okay, then I think this should provide some relief on Bitcoin, and probably equities as well. So like I said, a strong DXY, a strong dollar is typically not that good for Bitcoin to be uptrending in. Typically does really well when we see these big parabolic moves to the downside for the dollar. So if we see any kind of continuation to the downside, expect that to coincide with some relief for Bitcoin, and probably the other cryptos can start to do pretty well as well. So like I said, keep an eye on the dollar. Equities as well, looks like we finished last week strong. We want to see where we move into next week, currently following this trend line over here. So yeah, if equities do pretty well next week and we can get a nice push up of about 2, 3, 4, 5%, okay, or possibly even new all-time highs, I would expect that to be pretty good for crypto and pretty good for Bitcoin. But like I said, we want to wait and see how next week starts to play out. But those are the key levels. Let me know where you think price is headed, and if you're holding anything, any positions. Until the next video, we'll get out some more videos next week, give you some price predictions and key levels to watch out for, keep you on the right side of the market. Peace out, catch you in the next one.